Hi, hello, listener of Never Morphed. If you like this show, I am convinced you are going to love The Newest Olympian by Mike Schubert. Why am I so certain? Because that's one of the shows that inspired this show. Real ones who listen to the credits already know. Each week, Mike dives into the Percy Jackson series, which I love, joined by guests who are longtime fans of the Rick Riordan series. If you haven't read these books yet, this is the perfect way to get started and read along with Mike. They're so good. And like Animorphs, they're kids' books that touch on way more serious topics than you might expect. And they're about worldwide mythologies, starting with Greek and Roman. I know you gays love mythology. If you have already read the books and know how good they are, you'll love this series too. The dramatic irony, man. And if you know about the books from the Disney Plus series, Mike has done interviews and conversations with some of the cast of the show on The Newest Olympian too. Mike is a great host, a great editor, and obviously a huge inspiration for me. You can find The Newest Olympian in the show notes or wherever you get your podcasts. Go subscribe right now and enjoy. Brought to you by Hug House Productions. Brought to you by Hug House Productions. Hello, Never Morphed listener. I come to you today from the shitty mic for reasons that are admittedly not, they're a little rough. They're a little rough. I just want to be straight up with you. Yesterday, I found out that a friend and a beloved member of the podcast and especially audio drama community, Travis Reeves, has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer. Those of you who have listened to Valence, first off, thank you. Second off, Travis did the theme music for seasons 2 and 3, and he also played a role in season 3. He is a tremendous guy, and he is 33. And he is having to pursue potential treatments that, of course, insurance will not cover. In the show notes, I am linking his GoFundMe. I am not going to ask you today to support me on Patreon. I am going to ask that you support Travis. I know that you know the gravity of the situation, and I'm sure that you can hear in my voice how much this means to me and how much Travis means to me and the entire podcasting and audio drama community. I am going to, at the end of this episode, play some of the Valence Season 2 and Season 3 themes because they're beautiful and perfect. And again, his GoFundMe is linked in the show notes. Thank you. Now, with that being said, we are in part 3 of 4 in my conversation about book 12 with sweet friend Fresco. I hope you enjoy. I love you very much. Tell the people that you love them now. Right now. Immediately. Do it now. I'm waiting. Okay, that's enough of this bit. Enjoy the episode. Meow, 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 meow. In chapter 13, Rachel has promised to tell Axe about this shit, and then she fucking doesn't.
Uh-huh.
She just fucking doesn't. She just fucking doesn't because she wants to go on this mission, and so she is going to avoid anyone telling her that she can't go on this mission because she wants to go on the fucking mission. Classic Rachel.
Yeah, I will say for this book, for as much as I don't like the just talk to each other type of conflict, it does at least comment on, like, she talks about it was sad how easy lying had become for me.
Yes.
I guess a lot of kids lie occasionally to their parents, but I have to do it way too much. Someday I'll be able to tell everyone the whole truth. That will be a relief. I appreciate that Rachel is introspecting about at least some of the lying.
Yeah, like, she seems to know that she's just, like, fully desensitized to it. And that means
Yeah.
in any capacity. You know, it's not just lying because she has to save the world. It's also lying because she wants to go see a cute boy.
Yeah.
she is very self-aware in this book consistently. Like, she knows that she's doing things that she's not supposed to, but she's doing them anyway.
Yeah.
Which, again, like, yeah, they need to communicate with each other. It does get frustrating for that to constantly be the conflict, but it's always done really well within the book. Like, this all does feel really on brand for her.
Yeah, I really like the amount of Rachel introspection we get in this book. Even, like, there's a couple places, I think in this chapter, she kind of snaps at Tobias, and when she fell through the floor, she snapped at her sisters. And, like, I think in both instances, she's aware that she's lashing out because of unrelated stuff. And, like, I think it's really good, especially for young readers, to kind of become familiarized with that type of introspection.
Yeah, and to have it displayed, like, when you are having an emotional reaction and you lash out at others, this is what it looks like. Maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
So they're meeting in bird morphs in the air at the beach to get to this yacht. Their plan is to just get to the yacht and then figure out what the fuck they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Tobias is helping her find a good morphing spot from up in the air because it's just really hard to find somewhere that they can morph discreetly somewhere like the beach. But he leads her to, like, a trash pile, basically.
Yeah.
And she's like, perfect, because she is going into seagull morph.
Yeah. God, there's a description here. Shrinking is weird because it's so much like falling. You don't think, oh, I'm getting small. You think, oh, I'm falling. You fall and fall and fall, but somehow you never actually land. It's just that a can that started off seeming to be as big as your foot becomes as big as half your body, and a McDonald's bag that you could have stepped on is now so large you could crawl inside it.
Seagull morph totally takes over Rachel's brain. She's just looking around for food. She's done the morph before, so she's not expecting it to do this to her, but she has, like, no control over it. And yeah, this is when Tobias is like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And she is really pissy about it, and she's being mean to him.
Yeah, and, like, she knows she's being mean to him. It's
yes.
Like, you know your way to the beach from here? Of course I know the way to the beach, I said, still mad for no good reason. And Tobias just says, oh, okay, see you there. Like, there's 4 O's in the okay.
Yes, good for him that he's just like, yeah, I'm not dealing with those right now.
I have so many of my own problems, Rachel. I'm a bird.
Straight up.
I'll
literally
talk to you
a bird,
later.
Rachel. Can you have some fucking perspective, Rachel?
Your house fell in? I don't have one.
Yeah, I can't live in those anymore, Rachel. They are in the air. The plan is to get to the Day Breeze. That's the yacht. The yacht is spotted by Tobias with his hawk eyes because they're much better than anybody else's seagull eyes. Axe does not have a seagull morph, though. He only has the Harrier hawk, and of course Tobias is just the red-tailed hawk.
Right.
So they're gonna, like, hang back while the others go to the yacht. So the others minus Tobias and Axe get to the yacht, and again, Cassie and Rachel are talking about how hot this boy is, and the boys are like, ew, the whole time.
This is when Tobias gets it. I said, I'm betting that's our wussy boy actor. And I wrote, even Tobias is getting in on the toxic masculinity.
Which is insane because he was bullied.
He was bullied.
What are you talking? No, he would not. You can't convince me that he would say this.
Tobias, my angel baby, would not say this.
No.
He would not fucking talk like that.
He would not fucking talk like that. On the deck, there's the producer, a woman in a bikini, Joseph Jordan-Levitt, and
Jesse Thorne,
and some other guy.
Are any of these people his agent?
No.
Okay, like, I think this is the chapter where Kealohi and I were both like, why are they talking directly to this child? Where are his parents? Where is his agent?
Yeah, this is crazy. This is not,
I mean, like, a teenager out on a yacht.
I'm sure that this does happen regularly, but in the way where it's like, we don't talk about that, like, definitely, if this is supposed to be like a for real meeting about something, there should be the agent here. There should be the parents here. Like, there should probably be, like, a legal advisor here from the agent and from these companies. Like, this is absurd.
Uh-huh. Also, at the start of this chapter, there's a really good... Okay, is everyone up for this? Jake asked. He was one of the wheeling, screaming seagulls around me, but I couldn't be sure which one. Let's do it, I said. That's what I almost always say at the start of a mission. Everyone expected me to say it. The truth was, yeah, say the thing, Rachel.
Say the thing, Rachel. It's, again, her constant tension between how she is perceived and how she perceives herself and, like, what she needs in any given moment.
Yeah, and like, just playing her role because it's what she feels the group needs, and it's or like because she doesn't want them questioning her. And also, Kalo, he pointed out this implies that Jake is also screaming. He's one of the wheeling, screaming seagulls.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotta blend in.
Good for him. Probably feels great. He probably needed that.
I loved the description of, we flapped away, slowly emerging from the dogfight of seagulls in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel thinking in these kind of militaristic terms.
Mm-hmm. I bet she is. So, chapter 15, the other dude on the yacht, that's Visser 3.
That's Visser 3.
Yay!
He's here. Oh, wait, there was one thing. Rachel's thinking about Tobias, and she said, I know he hates not being able to go with us on every mission. He feels like he's not doing enough, I guess, which is stupid because really no one does more for the cause than Tobias, and none of us has paid a higher price in this war with the Yeerks than Tobias has.
Goddamn right.
To which I wrote, is Rachel in denial about Tobias trapping himself on purpose? Like, I do think he has paid a price, but the way she's approaching this, I am wondering if she's in denial that there was an element of him doing it on purpose, which Kalo, he pointed out, like, that would track with her, like, laughing off the possibility of her being suicidal.
Totally.
Just like, yeah, I think she does not want to think about it.
Yeah, we have really only gotten, like, very brief, very uncomfortable, sort of like guesses from the rest of the team that, like, maybe, not that he did it on purpose, but that, like, maybe he doesn't necessarily even want to go back. And those are different things, but not that different. And I think it really is, like, I don't think any of them have displayed that they know this was on purpose. But, like, it definitely was.
I love these books for just getting to see everyone's perspective on everyone else constantly.
Yes.
It's very, even in passing when they're not dwelling on it, it's just very cool.
It is. And I really love the aspects of everybody that they, like, see in each other.
Mm-hmm. There's a long, uncomfortable scene where they're talking about, like, Brad Pitt's lips, which I think is in this same chapter.
Yes. I did not like this.
No, me neither. Neither did Marco. I clipped this scene because I liked that it ends with, this is the worst mission we've ever been on, Marco said.
Yeah.
Like, Jake is talking about lip filler.
This was also crazy, man. I forgot that, like, filler was a thing before filler was a thing because we do filler differently now. I forgot that it used to use, like, your own fat, and now it's, like, saline, maybe, or some such, or silicone. I'm not sure.
Me neither.
I don't go to fillers. It's just crazy that really has existed for that long.
Yeah, it also just felt very strange for these children to, like, be talking this extensively about the size of Brad Pitt's lips and, like, lip filler, and just
Yeah, don't like it. I don't like it. Don't like it. The book continues to be horny, and I don't like it.
I do like Axe because they're like, they're asking, like, oh, does he look like this? Does he have full lips like Brad Pitt? Because Axe is the one who can see the boat, and they're trying to figure out if the guy on the boat is Jeremy Jason McCole. And so, the hair and eyes are correct, Axe said. I can't evaluate the lips, though. How large would lips have to be in order to be Brad Pitt lips? I feel like Axe is like, which thing is the lips? I don't have those.
Yeah. I don't really know what those things are. Hey, you know what's also weird?
Yeah.
That this book is written by adults, and it is basically about a real life human 16-year-old.
Yeah, I have such mixed feelings about, especially because they make him out to be an asshole.
Uh-huh.
It's very strange.
This book's a weird one. It's a weird one in a new way.
This is deeply weird.
Deeply weird. Yeah.
Just beneath the surface, very weird. Which I guess does run into the age-old problem of like, if adults can't write about kids feeling these things, then we won't have books that explore that experience from people who did live through it. But also, like, this book is too horny.
It's too horny, and it's too much about a real boy.
It's too much. Yeah, that's what pushes it over the top for me. Is like, you're talking about Jonathan Taylor Thomas's lips.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
I don't like that. Which I do. My charitable take on it is that it was probably at least partly meant as a commentary of like, maybe don't think about real people like this, because one, they're not the person you think they are, and like maybe the message just stops there. But I feel like, I don't know, subconsciously there is maybe an element of like, and it's weird, it's uncomfortable and inappropriate on some level to be like, these are children. If these were real children having these conversations, I obviously wouldn't be like, you 12-year-olds are being really inappropriate right now.
Right. A
lot of things happening.
Yeah. And also, like, these books are so good otherwise that I can, like, give them a pass on not having the best politics about, like, celebrity culture. Like, it's fine.
I always feel like I don't always necessarily agree with how these books approach certain topics, but I do appreciate that they try to approach these topics.
Yes. And I think largely they're handled pretty well.
Yeah. Rachel and Cassie just straight up defy an order from Jake in this chapter.
Oh, yeah.
Openly in front of him.
Yes, they sure do.
Jake's like, okay, Marco and I will land on the boat and you guys can hang back to be backup. And Rachel's like, no. Come on, Cassie, we're going in. And they do.
And
And Jake doesn't stop them.
Nope. As if he could.
Just nice, subtle seagull fight above this ship.
The ship where Visser 3 is.
Yeah, which... God, his Visser 3's opening line before we know he's Visser 3, he's talking about, like, now my company is part of the New Order.
Yes!
I wrote, get very far away very fast from anyone who says this shit to you.
Yes! That's the scariest possible. That's the biggest red flag imaginable.
I was like, this Yerk is really bad at being subtle, and then it was Visser 3.
Yeah.
So that tracks.
On brand.
God, Rachel says, I know it's dumb to have a crush on some actor you only know from TV, but it's a nice, normal kind of dumb, and I didn't have much normal anything in my life.
Yeah.
God, she's a child.
Oh, Rachel.
And
then her crush just, like, falls away because this guy... So Visser 3 is like, if you just do this procedure, I will get you roles that are for adults, so you don't have to, like, navigate this weird teen era, like going from a child star to a teen star to an adult star. Like, I'll just give you the adult roles. I'll make sure that you are super wealthy. I'll make sure that you're getting everything that you want, and you won't have to deal with your fucking annoying fans anymore. And he's like, thank God. I fucking hate having to be a goody-goody. It makes me so annoyed, and I fucking hate these weird fans who are always sending me shit. And I know that we're supposed to be like, fuck him. His fans are everything. But no, he is fully correct here.
And, like, he's not saying this to his fans, or as far as he knows, in front of his fans. Like, I get that because it is an exaggerated portrayal of the never meet your heroes thing, I get that, like, some of the language he's using of, like, oh, these dumb teenage girls or whatever, like, that's abrasive. I get that. But I do think, like, I understand, like, yeah, I would like to stop being, I don't know, stalked by teenagers or whatever.
Right. Like, I would like to just stop receiving super intense, emotional, possessive, entitled fan mail from people I don't fucking know.
Yeah, which also, if I can bring like real life element into this for a moment, some of that fan mail would be from adult women.
Oh, yeah. And adult men too. Like,
yeah.
Which isn't worse or better, to be clear. I just want to point that out. Like, yeah, that it would not just be children. Jeremy Jordan Jeremy he listens to this all and he's like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll do your little procedure. Why not? What the fuck?
I think it's really funny that Visitor 3 is calling it a procedure.
I know.
What does Jeremy think is happening?
Exactly. And that's the thing is like, and Rachel does think about this, but he is being completely tricked here.
Uh-huh.
Like, he is just being fed lies.
Yeah, this is sad. This is tragic.
It is.
This is scary.
It's really sad. And like this poor kid, like, especially at this time, you do not go from child star to adult star. It just doesn't happen. Like, I think Johnny Depp was maybe like one of the only people who successfully did this. And he was already like a late teen when he was on sitcoms.
Right. I don't even think I knew that about him.
Right. Most people don't, because they just think of like his adult film career because it was that successful of a transition. Fuck Johnny Depp, to be clear.
Yeah.
But like, it just didn't happen otherwise. Like, you stayed a child star forever. You never got any more roles and you were just fucked. And again, like, you gotta pay bills, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think Visor 3 is the one making this pitch? Because if the kid says no, he's just going to acquire him and kill him? Or acquire him
probably.
And forcibly yerk him, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess he wouldn't need to morph him, but like they took him out into the ocean.
Yeah.
And there's that creepy moment where he's like, what if I say no? And Visor 3 just says, you won't say no.
Yeah.
Like, what's his name? Jeremy Jason McCall kind of just shrugs off and is like, yeah, you see right through me. I do want fame and fortune. I'll do your procedure.
Yeah.
I'm so curious what he thinks the procedure is.
Yeah, same. I wish we got more about that.
If someone approached me, like, this is not I'm too smart to fall for cults thing. This is just having a chuckle about fiction thing. But like, if somebody approached me and is like, my company is part of the New Order and all you have to do is undergo a procedure. No, I'm already gone. I'm gone.
Yeah. I'm queer and disabled. You can't use the New Order words on me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Is the procedure gonna make me abled? Like,
right. Yeah, absolutely fucking terrifying. But it works on him.
Because he's 16.
And then
16 and a child star.
Yes. So Rachel and Cassie are going to go tell the boys, but then Rachel starts morphing midair into an elephant and she's sinking into the water and drowning, and Visser 3 is watching it happen.
Uh-huh. God, just the mental image of him staring at her as this happens is so creepy.
It's so creepy. This chapter was done pretty effectively. Like, I do think that Visser 3 was formidable here.
Yeah. Like, he's fun to laugh at. He is also extremely creepy.
Yes.
And chilling when he's written, I don't want to say correctly, when he's written with that in mind.
Yes. He really can go either way, and they do a good job balancing it for him.
Yeah. I keep replaying in my head what you said about when we were doing book 8, when you briefly thought they were actually going to kill him. You said, like, I guess it's sayonara to my favorite idiot.
Yeah.
Like, I keep thinking that every time I encounter him. I'm like,
I was so ready.
You were so ready.
No, he prevails.
Yeah.
My favorite idiot prevails.
Book 8 had a bad ending, but at least it means we still have Visor 3.
So true. So only when it is too late and she's too far into the water does Rachel think, hey, maybe elephants can swim.
Uh-huh. God, I love the subtle, not subtle, but like casual keeping up with the pacing details of like getting across that her friends absolutely are not going to leave her to die. It's Rachel, morph out, Cassie screamed. Axe, Jake yelled. If you can hear me, find Rachel, stay with her. And then, like, Cassie's saying, I'll dive underwater out of sight. I'll morph to human, then try to morph to dolphin before I run out of air. Maybe I can help her. And Jake says, do it. Marco, stay up top. I'm going down with Cassie.
Yeah.
Like, insane for Cassie to do this.
Yes.
Extra insane for Jake to do this because he's not as good at morphing as Cassie.
Right.
They're both just risking their lives to try to go help Rachel, and we don't linger on it, and I don't think we need to linger on it. I think it's a really good background dynamic of just these kids really care about each other. They really are a team.
And they work like a team, and they have protocols at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's something, I don't remember what chapter it was in, we already passed it, but Rachel said, like, it was just our usual pre-mission banter, and I'm like, 12 books in, they have a usual pre-mission banter.
Right. Yeah, it's really well written. The progression of them as people who think collectively, I think just works really well.
Yes, that's my favorite shit.
Me too. So Rachel is just morphing into some other horse shit. It's like a whole mess. Axe comes over in his sharky morph and sees that Rachel is morphing into an insect, which is not good because she is in the water. And then so Jake says, so Axe is saying, like, she's morphing directly from elephant to an insect. And Jake says, that's impossible. And Axe says, I know. And me, knowing how Axe is about secrets, I was like, well, he didn't say correct, or he didn't say, I don't know what's going on. So I'm guessing he does know what's going on.
Right.
And that is what happens. However, I do think that this was actually just a mistake by the writers. I think they forgot that they wrote him saying this. Because he doesn't have any, like, confusion or, like, explanation for why he was agreeing that it's impossible and didn't explain it in the moment. Like, well, this is a fringe case of, is this Axe being Axe, or is this just a continuity error? But that's fine. Whatever.
I would also accept just there's a lot of shit going on, and in the moment he doesn't remember what would cause this.
Sure.
But, like, yeah, they don't go into that, but
no.
This is also the point where everyone else finds out that that's Fizzer 3. Before this starts happening, only Cassie and Rachel know that.
Oh,
and then
right, yeah.
And Marco's like, hey, the guy on the boat is turning into an Andalite, and Cassie's like, yes, it's Fizzer 3. Forget him. We have to save Rachel.
Right.
Like, yeah, Fizzer 3. We've all seen him.
Yeah, we get it. Don't worry about him.
All this shit happening, and Marco's just up in the air as a bird.
Yeah, it's a fucking mess. It's an absolute fucking mess. Marco and Tobias are both up in the air as birds.
Can Tobias see any of this shit? How far away is he?
We don't know. But that's their girl.
Yeah.
They both got that crush, and they can't come save her. Rest in peace.
I am wondering if Jake telling Marco to stay up top was, like, half strategic, half kindness of, like, Marco. Is Marco still afraid of the water?
Oh, like, my God.
I wonder if Jake...
Right.
I wonder if the, like, normal kid part of Jake's brain is thinking, like, well, my best friend is afraid of water and can't swim, so he can't fucking swim, so he would drown. He would drown as soon as he tried to demorph. But
yeah. And
I wonder if the strategy part of Jake is, like, even if he manages to morph dolphin, he's probably not going to be great in this fight, so we'll have him be the lookout. And, like...
Yeah, that's so true. That's so smart. I didn't even think of that.
There's a lot happening between all these
boy.
kids.
So Rachel morphs into an ant in an air bubble, so that's terrible. She finally is able to morph into the crocodile, and crocodiles can't, like, breathe underwater, let alone salt water.
I guess the air from the air bubble grew with her.
Yeah, but it says that, you know, they can hold their breath for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Visser 3, meanwhile, is morphing into some alien spearfish, and then he jumps in. So that's bad.
I don't remember the context of this, but I wrote down the line, "Come on, Rachel, you can do this," I told myself, but I had the feeling I was lying.
Oh.
Like, she even lies to herself.
Yeah. Rachel.
Rachel. "Here he comes," Marco announced grimly. "Look out for those spears. They look nasty." "The what?" I asked.
Yeah.
"The spears? What spears?" "The thing Visser 3 morphed into. I can't be sure, but I think maybe it shoots spears out of its mouth." "Ah," Axe said, speaking up. "I bet it's a Lebton javelin fish. I've always wanted to see one of those. I mean, you know, in a zoo or something."
Really good Axe moment. And then later on, I think he's like, "I don't want to see one anymore, actually. I don't like this."
So, Andalite lore update. Zoos, yes. Movies, no.
Correct.
Because zoos can be outside.
Yeah, and also that seems convenient for them.
Yeah.
It's like a little market.
Just go shopping.
Yeah.
Acquire a Lebton javelin fish.
Mm-hmm.
$30.
I love its Pez dispenser tactics here.
Yeah, this is so fucked up.
Yeah. This next chapter is just a fight between them and Visser 3. It really doesn't go anywhere or mean anything. There is a moment where Jeremy Jordan sees Visser 3 morphing and he's like, "Fucking sick!"
Right.
And again, he's right. Like, I'm sorry. He's right.
He's right, especially if maybe he thinks the procedure he's going to have is going to let him do that shit.
Right. And like, that is cool as hell.
Rachel does tell the others to leave her to die, and Jake's like, "Fuck off, Rachel, we're not doing that."
Yes. She like keeps telling them.
She keeps telling them to leave her to die. She saves Axe's life. When everybody's splitting up, Visser 3 shoots one of the javelins at Axe, and Rachel tells him when to like turn, so it just goes past him.
Mm-hmm.
She gets impaled.
She does.
Entailed, I suppose.
Entailed. She gets impaled in the tail. By one of these spines, and then it just fucking stays there.
Yeah. Oh, God, I hate that.
Yeah, real bad.
At this point, Jake does tell Marco to get in the water.
Yes. He does, eventually. Marco in Dolphin Morph comes in at the very end, and he's like, "I'm here to save the day." And Rachel is like, "Great, thanks."
I do love, there's just a quick line when everything's getting all fucked up and Rachel's been speared. "Look out, move," Jake howled in our heads.
Yes.
These are kids. They're overwhelmed. Jake is the leader, but he's also a child. Yeah.
Yeah. Chapter 18.
Rachel plays dead.
Yes.
Rachel plays dead and she bites Visser 3.
Oh, yes. That's right. I thought this was a good tactic. This was smart of her.
It's also a really funny visual.
Yes.
It was like
belly up.
It was like biting into a water balloon. The inflated javelin fish exploded. All the water it had sucked in to fire its next spear went blasting out through the hole I made, and that Lebton javelin fish learned a whole new way to fly. It squirted wildly through the water, blasted up through the surface, arced through the air like a sick dolphin, and landed far away with a loud, satisfying splash. And the whole time we heard Visser 3's thought-speak voice crying, "Ah!" Suddenly it's a cartoon.
Yes, so cartoon. Also, how did Visser 3 survive this? No.
Oh my God.
No.
Just a mental image of just...
Yeah. Chapter 18.
Mm-hmm.
We get the reveal of what the fuck is going on here. Axe tells Rachel she is having an allergic reaction to the crocodile DNA that she got. Which is not something that they knew could happen. And to get rid of this this DNA that is giving her a reaction, she has to undergo a process. It will happen naturally, called the Harith Illant. And in it, I'm just going to read this quote.
Mm-hmm.
Axe says about the Harith Illant, it isn't easy. See, you basically have to morph the animal while you retain your own body. You have to create a whole living animal out of the excess matter floating in zero space. I looked at Axe. Excuse me? My question is also, excuse me?
Uh-huh.
She has to what?
You know, you just create an animal from the excess matter in Z space. You just do that.
Yeah. Okay. So
Axe does such a bad job of explaining this, and then later we find out that also they just don't listen to him when he's explaining stuff.
correct. But the biggest question for me is, what do you mean, the excess matter in Z space? Because what we know right now is that when you morph to something smaller, your matter goes into Z space. When is something designated excess matter? Who is that pulling from? Could that be one of them? Is there flesh goo excess matter? What the fuck does this mean?
We get to the end of this book and they're all just like a foot shorter.
Knowing these books, like, yeah, I wouldn't even be shocked, man. Like,
maybe, and this is not a spoiler for future books. I don't know the answer to this. Maybe
Okay.
maybe the Andalites have like seeded matter of some kind into Z space. So, and maybe that's what you use when you morph big.
man,
Maybe
I hope so.
Maybe you're borrowing it.
I don't know. I honestly assumed that it was like it belonged to now dead Andalites.
Oh God! Oh no!
Right? Like
That would track. That would be.
there's plenty of them.
That would match the tone of this series pretty well.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. It's fucking gross. I don't like this at all.
No. I also don't like that it's called burping DNA, was what X says the literal translation would be.
Right. No.
I did think it was interesting that he was kind of explaining, like, yeah, we don't have mouths, so we don't have words for, like, spitting something out or throwing up.
Right. Yeah.
But
Very good.
I guess they can burp through their noses?
I guess.
Or just that's the closest human word for it?
Yeah, I think I was thinking of it as like closest human word
Okay.
for like the sentiment there.
Mm-hmm. So Axe is the one who picked the word burping. He could have picked a different word.
Yes. Yes. And I think that he knows the word burping from Marco.
Yeah. Also, wait, Axe talks about sneezing in this scene. He could have called it sneezing DNA.
100% he could have, yes. 100%.
So I guess he didn't know the word for it. He just described the process of sneezing and was like, it's like that.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
There's so much stuff that he, like, they
Guys.
haven't explained to him. And, like, I understand some of it they wouldn't think to have to explain to him, but he's all alone on an alien world living in the woods with his bird friend.
Straight up, please get him a dictionary. The Farmer's
Please.
Almanac is not enough.
You got him a quote book with E.T. phone home in it. Get him a dictionary.
Go to library, please.
Please.
So Jake is pissed,
Jake is
obviously.
pissed. Yeah.
And he's right to be pissed. And he tells Rachel that she has to lay low and stay in the hotel until she burps up this DNA. She's pissed because she says that the TV show is their last chance to get through to this actor before all of this shit hits the fan. And Jake is like, okay, well, maybe you should have thought of that before endangering everybody and fucking up the mission because you came out while you were having an allergic reaction.
Yeah. God, that's such a sad and good scene of, like, Rachel's the protagonist of this book. We're in her head. We understand why she's making the decisions she's making. But Jake is also right, but that's also the worst way to say it to her.
Yeah, and she knows that he's right.
Yeah.
And nobody is backing her up at this point. Like, they're trying, but she knows she's wrong.
Yeah. Like, Tobias tries to comfort her, and she's like, no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's also uncomfortably long scene of Marco teasing Rachel about being in love with Jeremy Jason McCole.
Yeah, because the first time she started morphing without realizing it, because we also find out through Axe that the way to mitigate these symptoms is to just be completely flat emotion. More Teen Titans like Raven from that one episode.
God, I love Raven.
Where it's her and Starfire who have switched bodies.
Yeah.
And Marco points out that the first time it happened was when she was looking up pictures of J.J. McCullough. And he's like, well, yeah, because you love him. And like, that is not it.
No.
And I don't, but I also don't want that to be acknowledged in the book.
Yeah. So that is it. That is it. It's love.
It's love. She was feeling true love, pure love.
Some of the scene is a little funny. You see, X said, noticing the beginning of the morph, passions and emotions set off the allergic reaction. You must try to eliminate the emotions. How about if I just eliminate Marco? I growled. And then he keeps taunting her, and Jake grabs Marco's arm and says, Marco, if you make her mad, she'll morph. And if she starts morphing, she might end up in full grizzly bear. Do you really want Rachel mad at you and in grizzly bear morph?
Exactly.
Marco almost died.
Yeah.
Most danger he's ever been in.
This could have been the end of Marco.
If she'd lost herself to the bear morph instead of the seagull.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. They would all be fucked at this point.
She almost ate that child.
She almost ate that boy. And then Rachel continues making bad decisions. Chapter 19. Oh she's God. Like, anyway, so I lied.
Yeah. My note is just all caps, Rachel.
Yeah, I have Rachel, oh my God, you dumb idiot. Yeah. She tells Jake and Cassie, she just fully lies. She says that she already burped up this DNA. She goes into detail of what it felt like, just making shit up, just fully lying.
Uh-huh.
Because she wants to do this fucking mission because she's a dumb idiot right now.
Yeah, and she wants to, like, I don't know, fix the situation she made, but she's going about it in the worst possible way.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, like, I guess from the position of the hindsight of writing this book, ? She's like, luckily I didn't have to tell Axe, because if I'd told Axe, he would have thought to ask what I did with the extra crocodile.
Right. Yeah, good thing that she didn't ask or tell him. This
is where she reveals that, like, none of us had really understood Axe when he'd explained it. Once he starts in about zero space, we all just kind of glaze over. Yep. I said, hey, that's not a good idea.
That's not a good idea at all, guys.
Bad job all around. Axe is bad at explaining things to them. They're bad at explaining things to him. They don't listen when he explains things to them.
At least Axe asks questions and he, like, listens.
Yeah.
You know?
Guys, like, Axe, I need you to say very explicitly that there's going to be a second crocodile. And everyone else, I need you to say, hey, what do you mean by that? When he talks about the excess mass or whatever.
Yeah, because when I first read his explanation, I thought Rachel was going to stay here and, like, somehow connected to her matter in Z-space.
Ooh.
She was going to have to basically be in both places at once in her mind.
That would be very cool.
Right, and, like, the crocodile would just then be in Z-space.
Forever.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That is not what happened.
That's not what happened. What did she do with the extra crocodile?
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been more convenient. So Rachel goes to be on this TV show.
Yeah, and she's like, it's totally fine. All I had to do was control my emotion.
Uh-huh.
And I'm good at handling emotion, except anger, maybe. No, you're not. No, Rachel. You're bad at all of this.
These books continue reminding me so much of The Substance, the movie. I'm not going to go into that much. But between this going on this talk show and it's like down to the minute and everything is going wrong, and the way that the crocodile gets up out of her, is like exactly things that occur in the substance. It's wild.
Oh my god. Okay, that might get me to watch The Substance.
It's great. It is disgusting. It is so yucky, but it's so good. It's so funny. Highly recommend it.
I will check it out. I've been avoiding it because of the yuck factor.
Yeah, it's really yucky. Definitely watch it somewhere where you can like look away from your screen very fast.
I'll listen to it.
Yeah. So in the studio, she gets there and she's with Cassie and she gets to the hair and makeup person whose name is Tay or Ty. And she's doing Rachel's hair, but she's being a real dick about it.
Mm-hmm. I have a question about how we're interpreting one line, which is a woman with weird hair and black lipstick looked at my dad and gave a little leer, to which I typed, "Are they fucking?"
They may be. I just assumed they had just like known each other from being in the industry. This is probably around the studio where he worked when he was in this city. Mm-hmm. But I also do think that there's like a non-zero chance that they're fucking.
It's like leer is such a deliberate word to choose.
Yes.
Like, and this book is so horny.
This book is so horny. I would not put it past anything.
Yeah, there's also a llama.
Oh yeah, there's a llama. There's like one of those guys who like goes to talk shows with animals to be like, look at this crazy creature.
Uh-huh. He's brought so many.
Yeah.
For one appearance.
And like a baby lion.
Yeah,
and
God.
Yeah, like, and he keeps smoking around them, which is really
Jesus
fucked
Christ.
up.
Also, hey, Animorphs, acquire all of these things.
I know. If they acquire a baby animal DNA, do they morph into the baby or into like the full grown? Is that does
I do not know.
How does DNA work?
I'm not sure. I feel like I've looked into this before because of Animorphs. And that maybe there's some age component to DNA, maybe, but also like there's a lot of questions about morphing. Like, why do they still have belly buttons?
Oh my God.
Why does Marco still have his haircut?
Yeah, that's all true.
Like,
that's all true. Yeah, I'm deciding to not think about this one.
Yeah. There's a line of, they had one of those supersized dumpsters out front full of plasterboard and 2x4s with dumpsters capitalized. This is the series that made me aware that dumpster is a like trademark.
Yeah, it's a brand name.
It's a brand name. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I absolutely did not know that until I read these.
Yeah. Why?
Like as an adult, because I think as a child it didn't occur to me like why that would be capitalized.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Brand name. Bizarre.
Uh-huh.
Like Xerox or Kleenex, I think is the other big one.
Yeah. So Ty is mean to Rachel?
Yes. And then she's like, what the fuck is up with your hair? It's turning gray right now immediately. And Rachel realizes that she's morphing the wolf because she's pissed.
Uh-huh.
And that's not good. So Cassie distracts this hair and makeup person by being like, wow, that's so crazy. Kevin Costner and Tom Cruise are outside. And my note here says, are they supposed to be hot? Like, I know that people think that Tom Cruise is hot. I cannot fathom this personally. Like, Kevin Costner?
Yeah, I'd never encountered that idea.
No.
Like, and I'm not dunking on either of these gentlemen. It's just
I'll
not.
At least dunk on Tom Cruise.
Okay, I don't know anything about him. So
Scientologist. He's like the poster boy.
Right. I forgot. Yeah, I'll dunk on Tom Cruise.
Okay, I don't know anything about Kevin Costner.
I don't know anything about Kevin Costner. My note on it is, I didn't see Kevin Costner out there, Ty said suspiciously when she returned, and I wrote implication that she did see Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Damn, Cassie was right about that one thing.
Cassie is so mad.
She's pissed. I don't think we've ever seen Cassie this pissed.
Yeah, this is this is a betrayal because she says you lied to me.
Yes.
And like the me is italicized. Like this is a big deal.
Yeah, and then Rachel is being so shitty back to her. She's like, okay, well, now you're just making me upset, and that's going to make everything worse. Fuck off, Rachel.
Yeah, it's a really, like, good, terrible, quick thing of, like, well, I don't want to be having this fight, so I'm going to make my emotions my friend's problem.
Right. It's so manipulative.
Uh-huh.
And, like, again, totally tracks for Rachel. I'm just very mad at her right now.
Uh-huh. Totally tracks. Did make me go like, ooh.
Yeah. And then Jeremy Jordan walks up and Cassie's knees buckle when she sees him. Don't write that. Don't write that. That's not it. Don't tell me that. I don't need to know that. Don't tell me that detail about Cassie.
Here's my my fix-it implication of this instead is maybe Cassie has narcolepsy because if you have narcolepsy with cataplexy, which I have, if you experience a strong emotion, sometimes your knees buckle. So there we go. I fixed it.
There we go. I'm taking it. I prefer this greatly.
You can think about that instead.
Yeah, it's so cool that this will only happen to her once? In the series.
Oh, the morphing cured her eventually.
Yay!
It just took a while.
So he walks in and he tries to talk to her, and she's not having it. So she just kind of like, she just gets pissed, and so she's trying to leave a little bit, but then he keeps talking to her. He recognizes her as Disaster Girl, is what he calls her.
Poor
and
Rachel.
This is when, yeah, seriously.
She saved a child's life, and everyone's like, look at this other idiot who fell in the crocodile pit.
Right.
Let's put her on a talk show.
All she gets is that she's Disaster Girl and not that she saved this little boy's life and didn't eat him.
Really good, like, microcosm of what these kids are going through of, like, they're saving the world constantly, but they can't have any credit for it.
Yes. Fucking infuriating. And then this little asshole twerp is like, okay, anyway, get the fuck out of here. It's my turn for hair and makeup. And the hair and makeup person is like, yeah, fuck you. Get out of here.
Get out of here. There is some kind of interesting cognitive dissonance that Rachel is experiencing of, like, still having a crush on him on a, like, surface level, but also thinking of him as an asshole.
Yes.
And also thinking about the yerk and just all of that, which I think that comes a little bit later, but just really more of the good introspection.
Yeah, these chapters are all like a little bit jumbly for me.
Yeah.
But what comes through the most is like this really good Rachel internal thought process.
Yeah.
And like the way that she's reflecting on everything and the way that she knows that she's actively being like a full disaster and can't stop herself. So Rachel and Cassie both leave. They're outside hanging out with this llama, and they're talking shit about this kid who is just a fucking asshole to them. He also is throwing a fit because there's no green room. Maybe that's later.
I think that's a little bit later.
Got it. And then the llama is like, hello. And they're like, oh. And Marco, this is so fucking funny. Marco came in as a fly. The rest of the team is in here in like inconspicuous morphs. Marco got in here as a fly, saw the llama, thought, this is better.
Fuck being a fly.
Morphed to human, pulled the llama into an empty dressing room, got the DNA, morphed, and then locked the llama in. That's hilarious. I do feel like this is stupid and impulsive enough that he should be getting shit from Jake as well. But it's so funny that, like, I really can't fault him.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite applications of the, like, how did this happen? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. My headcanon for what's going on in this entire TV studio scene is that because we don't really hear much from Jake during this, and my theory is that when they got here, at some point, Axe did ask Jake, like, so what did she do with the extra crocodile? And Jake went, what?
Yeah.
And that Jake is like, oh, fuck, she lied.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, that seems right. That seems right.
Prince Jake, don't we need to deal with the crocodile? What?
The what?
The what?
Cassie does tell Marco that Rachel is still having the allergic reaction.
Yes, which good job, Cassie.
Thank you, Cassie. But then Marco gets taken away by animal handlers, so they're on their own.
Well, God.
And then Cassie has a fucking brilliant idea.
Yes.
She gets Rachel's DNA.
Yes.
So that she can go on TV as Rachel without the allergic reaction and everything will just be normal. And this is great because Cassie knows Rachel well enough to act as her. This will be totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
This also confirms for us that, like, you can just morph into any other human person, which I think is very cool, and that they should absolutely be using more.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating that Cassie is the one doing this because she's the one who, like, in book 4 was thinking about, like, the morals of morphing dolphins because they're so, like, relatively sentient.
Right.
Like, I really like that she ends up being the one to morph Rachel.
Yeah, and she is, like, they're talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, I like that she is seeing, like, the practicality of the situation and she's making this call, but she is also still communicating this all to Rachel.
Yeah. Because, okay, so far, Cassie has morphed Rachel. Axe has morphed Jake. Is that it? I mean, Axe also, like, has his
yeah,
mix
Axe
of
is
all
also
of
their
them.
baby.
Yeah.
Collectively.
Who they keep referring to as, like, strangely attractive or weirdly pretty. Or
Yes. And our hot son, Axe.
our hot son Axe, who is us.
Yeah, I think that that's it so far.
Okay.
So Jeremy Jordan is throwing a fit because the green room isn't open because a band had trashed it the week before.
Yeah.
This is the one moment again where I'm like, this dude does suck. Like, you don't treat crew like this ever. Somebody call IATSE right now.
Crew who are already dealing with their green room being trashed.
Yes.
The woman, I don't remember. It's not Ty. It's some other woman with a clipboard.
Right.
She was still yanking me along by my arm, which would have made me mad, except that I couldn't get mad or sad or anything without setting off an allergic reaction. And then I had a separate thing. I was not nervous. I was not scared. No emotion. It was the only way I could do it. I could. Just really good emphasis on this for, like, a lot of kids were probably going through, like, any number of situations where they would feel like they weren't allowed to express emotion or weren't able to express emotion. And, I just think it's really good.
Never Morphed is hosted, edited, and produced by Will Williams. Our theme music is The Chase by Joey Hendricks. Our title is by Eddie Feely, and this podcast would not exist without Mike Schubert's podcast, Potterless and the Newest Olympian. You can find his works at shub.es, that's shub.es. Never Morphed is a proud member of Hug House Productions. You can find more at hughouse.productions and follow us on Tumblr at nevermorphed. Get morphin'! Here is the theme from Valence Season 2. And here's the theme from Valence Season 3. And if you're still listening, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me that, like, you took the time and the care to listen to these. That's really important to me. Thank you.